to get into this week. I'm joined by Trent and Austin. We'll start, of course, with our one big headline, and then really we're just going to go around in a circle and pick a football topic, and then we'll talk about it for a few minutes. Then we'll move on to the next one. It could be NFL, could be college football, whatever we want to talk about. But there's just, I don't know. There's too much to talk about to try to structure it and be like, all right, let's hit on, all the different games and whatnot. Let's just really get into the meat and potatoes of what we want to discuss as we head into conference championships for college football, as we head into really like the final month of the NFL season. And so that's the structure of this episode. We'll start, of course, with our one big headline. Trent, how about you kick us off?
I got rear-ended a couple of weeks ago. It hurt. My truck's still not fixed. I made one payment on my brand new truck.
Is it still in the shop?
Yep.
Gosh, the damage wasn't even that bad.
Gonna be there another month. The damage that you saw.
Oh.
It's like 20 to 25 grand.
Was there stuff under it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her car was basically under my car. So.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
Physically, you doing okay?
I am now. I was really, really sore for 2 weeks.
Did you get like the seatbelt bruise?
No, I didn't get the bruise. I don't bruise, but I had some gnarly whiplash and terrible migraines because of it. Like it was the muscle that connects your skull to your neck or whatever, like this one. And it hurt like right up. I'm pointing for the audio mediums. It hurt like right behind my ear, and it just throbbing headaches.
Dude,
It was rough.
Gosh.
But USAA sent me a check.
Nice.
Shout out Gronk.
I'm doing a lot better. I feel so much better now that I got that check in my account.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet. Well, glad you're okay. That stinks about the truck, though.
Yeah.
Austin, what's your one big headline?
Oh yeah. So before we get to the football, basketball, Mavs have won 4 in a row. 5-1 without Luka, right? Or is it 4-1 without Luka? I don't know.
Something like that.
It's pretty insane. You've been getting production from, guys that we acquired in the offseason with Quentin Grimes and Najee Marshall. And then, Kyrie's been having some good games too. And so, it's just kind of intriguing to see because there's some speculation about Luka's knee. Like, was it healed up or not? And so like it's been nice to see that they can win without him. So,
Mavs are hot right now. They've been playing really good basketball, and Luka just came back, but it was cool to see. I don't know. You touched on it, but like
different guys, just different guys.
And it's the guys that we upgraded from last year, right? It's Quentin Grimes, it's Najee Marshall, and like I love Derrick Jones Jr., but Derrick Jones Jr. isn't giving you 20 a night for a week like Najee did with Luka out. I love Josh Green, but he's not the consistent scorer that Quentin Grimes is. So that's been cool to see.
PJ's been awesome too.
Yeah.
He's been the glue ever since he came back from an injury, both on the defensive side of the ball. And then, he'll get you 25, 32. So it's nice. I don't know. It's you can tell like in the early part of the season, it took a little bit to gel, to learn systems and schemes and stuff like that. But now we're really kind of starting to see what this rotation could be. So I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Mavs basketball's, they started off a little slow. I was never really worried about it because I think this team is really, really good. And the West is deep. And last year, I feel like probably taught us that the team you are in October, November doesn't really matter as much as a team that you are in February, March, and April. And the Mavs are already at a better spot to start this season than they were last year. So I think they're going to be just fine.
It's been an interesting West. You look at a lot of people at the Clippers out of it. They're in the 6th spot. Houston at number 2 is freaking wild to me. Nobody saw that one coming. and then the Spurs rounding out the play, and it's a fun West, so it'll be a good time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, my one big headline is went and saw the new Gladiator movie last night.
Ooh,
Gladiator 2.
Tell me,
were
you entertained?
I was entertained.
Huh.
Not as good as the first one. I didn't expect it to be as good as the first one. I'd say it was probably like a solid 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. You know, there's definitely some nits you could pick. And you know, if you just go into it thinking, hey, I'm going to be back in ancient Rome and having a good time, then you're going to have a good time. But if you go into it thinking, hey, I'm going to watch Russell Crowe's Gladiator, you're going to be disappointed. But
how was
really
Denzel?
good.
I heard Denzel like made that movie.
Oh yeah, it almost was to the detriment of the movie, because anytime there was a scene without him, you're like, well, I just want Denzel in this scene. Like, I just give me to the next Denzel scene, because he was having a blast, and you could tell, and he was really good in it. And it's Gladiator. Like, you're in ancient Rome, and they did a naval battle in the Colosseum. Like,
What?
how can you not have fun watching that?
I gotta go see that.
It's pretty cool.
I got like
It's a fun
3
movie.
movies I gotta go see. So
yeah, it was cool. Definitely go see it. Don't go see the new Lion King. Don't support that slop.
yeah,
Go see Gladiator.
I thought, maybe it'll be a little better because it doesn't have the potential to ruin a classic. But after as bad as the Lion King live action remake was, I just don't want to. I just don't want to.
No, I will not be watching it. The live action Lion King is one of the most embarrassing films I've ever seen.
We did take so I took my 2 kids to the movies for the first time.
Moana?
2 and 3. Yeah, Moana 2. And they were good for like the first hour. The last 30 minutes, they were a little restless. So if your kids, so like Emma's really sensitive to loud noises. So there were some times when she was not having a good time. But overall, I'm optimistic about kids in the movies now. I mean, it was, I don't know what I was expecting. I was thinking it was a little chaotic, but it ended up being okay. So
I need to go watch the first 2 Sonic movies so I can see the third one, because those movies look good. I just haven't seen them.
I haven't seen those.
But
They're kind of dumb.
Dude, I want to go see Wicked so bad. I'm not even gonna lie. I really want to see
It's good.
Have you
We
seen
saw-
it, Trent?
No, but my wife has seen it twice.
We saw it
Oh,
on
wow.
Broadway last year. It was awesome.
My wife
Becca
saw it
has
on
seen it
Broadway like a month
as
ago.
we're doing this. Yeah, Becca's there right now watching it.
Man, it's popular.
Nice. Nice. All right, let's get into some football, shall we?
Yeah, no musicals, more football.
Austin, how about you start us off? You can take it anywhere you want to go as long as it's football related.
You know where I'm taking it.
You want to talk about Texas A&M losing?
No, I don't want to take it there.
Oh, man.
Man, all right. Okay, you know what? I'll talk about it. I'll process it. All right, on the pod.
All right, you go for a little while, because I'm going to slurp my soup.
I'm uncomfortable.
It doesn't look good. Like the slurping, it's
You're
very
watching.
gross.
Yeah, this is
All
great.
right.
He sits there and just.
I'll
drinks it
go
like-
back.
like
I'll
it's
go back to.
milk.
I'll go back to using my spoon. But anyways,
If
Austin,
you're
you
on
go for a little while.
Spotify, just turn
Just
it
dump
on.
it on your head. Why not?
Yeah, do it for the pod.
Do it for the pod. Dump the whole thing
It's
on
like
your
the
head. Lick
grossest
it off.
ice bucket challenge of all time.
Lick it off your. Lick it off your face.
I've been souped.
Oh man. All right. So Lone Star Showdown, right? So 13 years in the making. I could not describe my feelings as I like waited for the game to start. Like, watching the entrance, and then you could feel the energy through the TV as Kanye's Power just rang out through the stadium and everybody was going nuts. I mean, and also I just forgot how much I truly hated Texas. Like, obviously we talk about how much we dislike them on the podcast, but then to watch A&M play, I just forgot how much I hated them. And so I was optimistic after like the first drive or two. We were able to move the ball and then it just like stopped. And so I don't know. It's frustrating because as close as the game ended up being score wise, it never felt that close to me while I was watching it. Just with, the plays that Texas was making on defense, the Aggies defense and special teams did enough to win. If you get a pick six and a blocked punt and give your offense the yard or like the ball at the 10-yard line, you should have a chance to win. And so we just couldn't run the ball. On those 4th and 1s, not having Le'Veon Moss killed us. And so, I think, you could still make the argument, Texas with the weak SEC schedule, but, after watching that game, I do think they are better than maybe we gave them credit for, at least from a defensive front and 7 standpoint. They were solid, all game long, just couldn't move it. And so, but the raw emotions, at the start of the game and then the pain of defeat at the end of the game, it was obviously not the way I wanted it to go, but it was nice to be able to watch A&M versus Texas on Thanksgiving weekend again. And the energy was insane. And I can't wait to do it again next year. So
the game, I mean, I was pumped to watch that game just as a neutral observer. I had no dog in the race. I wish the game itself would have been better, but I know A&M made it a little interesting at the end. I know we were disagreeing about this when we were whenever we were kind of texting during the game. You thought they should have kicked the field goal when it was 4th and 1 at the goal line. And I thought, well before the play happened, that I thought going for it was the right call. Why do you think that they should have just taken the points there? Because they were down?
They were down 10, and so they had the opportunity to be down 7.
10, okay.
And so my thought was, you haven't been able to move it all game. Like, just take the offensive points, and then you just need to put one drive together to tie it. With it being 4th and 1 and us getting stopped earlier, Amari Daniels, he was supposed to be the 3rd string back coming into the season. He's not a physical runner. I mean, he can break tackles, but like as far as like the Derrick Henry type, just plow like north-south kind of stuff, he's not that guy. We lost that guy against South Carolina, Le'Veon Moss. And so in hindsight, you were right. Like if Elko had called for us to go for it, we had gotten it. I would have been like, oh, it's genius, stuff like
look at the balls on this Elko. Jimbo could never.
But I got some serious beef with the A&M play calling on those short yardage situations, because just if you're gonna have so like I'll span halfback dive and NCAA 25 if like it's working, but it wasn't working, and Colin Klein just kept doing it. And so in my opinion, with it, if you're gonna go for it, you need to put the ball in the hands of your best player, and that's gonna be Marcel Reed, or throwing it to Noah Thomas on a slant, because you had some short yardage passing success. So it's, I don't know. And in hindsight, I think I am a little more okay with going for it. But to be down 7, because football's such a game of momentum too, and so if you get a little bit when all of it's stacked against you, just down 1 possession, you just need 1 stop. And then the energy off of that stop, you can go score. Like, I think I would have taken that in a game that was that low scoring.
Yeah. Is the Aggie offense even any good?
Yeah. They're good. I would say that
I just feel like they've had a quarterback problem since Johnny Football.
So I would agree with you. I think Marcel Reed is the guy going forward. Connor Wegman just said he was going to enter the transfer portal like right before the pod started.
Is he now going to go to Georgia Tech and be really good?
Oh man, dude, I wanted Hayes King to win that football game so bad. I've always liked that guy. Yeah. So I think Marcel is a freshman, a redshirt freshman, but switching halfway through the year, and then the Aggies have never put together a complete game on offense. You saw glimpses of like Marcel, whenever he runs the read option, makes extremely good decisions. And so I think going forward, that's only going to get better. I think the offense grew as the season went on, but I don't think it ever reached its full potential. So, and part of that was, uncertainty at the quarterback position, losing, our top 2 running backs, the first one before the start of the season, and the second one after the South Carolina game. And then young offensive line. So they will be good. They were okay. They were good enough to win that football game, I think, but just didn't put it together.
If I would have told you at the start of the season that the Aggies would have been playing against Texas with the winner of that game getting into the SEC championship game, you would have taken that season 10 times out of 10.
This
For
season
year one with Mike Elko,
it's a
absolutely.
resounding success. Like, to be able to do what we did and like to have the chance at it at the end, that like the chance at the end was gravy. I mean, it was, 8 wins. I'm not disappointed in that at all, especially with the quarterback stuff that, we kind of walked through early. I'm happy with Elko. I think they're building a really solid program, and I think it'll improve in year 2. So I'd take it 100%.
Okay.
It took Texas a few years to get to where they are.
Yeah.
And a few NIL deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they have Arch Manning just waiting in the wings.
And this can be we can be a good segue for my football segment. Is I think A&M's in trouble because I think SMU is coming out of nowhere with their NIL money, and Texas is taking over the SEC. I think A&M might be in a little bit of some recruitment trouble.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
There's enough to go around in Texas, though. Like,
yeah. A&M will get. Yeah, I guess you're right. And Texas has.
We had a couple
based on
guys.
my college football 25 knowledge. Texas has pipelines all over the country.
They do. So it was after the game. So a couple of high profile commits decommitted from their initial commits after going to that game, visiting College Station that weekend. So,
which doesn't make sense because that atmosphere is unlike any other atmosphere.
Yeah,
I've been to probably 10 college football games in my life, and 3 of them were in College Station, and they were all vastly superior to the other ones I've gone to. Not even close.
Oh man, that was a nice trend.
I don't know. It's hard to beat Saturdays at Shelton, but yeah, it.
I remember Floyd. I remember. Shelton. My bad. Oh yeah, I'm so mad at them. By the way, it's so terrible.
You're mad at Hardin Simmons?
Yeah, because they lost to UMHB in the playoffs.
Oh, well, don't they do that every year?
Well, we had beaten UMHB twice in the regular season, and then they beat us in the playoffs. It's really frustrating.
Okay.
So there's your D3 coverage.
There you go. And that's talking D3 football. So, Trent, you think Texas A&M is in trouble because now SMU has realized that, hey, we know that we penalized you for spending money on players in the past, but now you can do it.
Now you can do it legally, and SMU alumni has
bottomless pocketbooks.
Bottomless pockets there. That's the great way of saying it. Yeah. Which some A&M guys do too, but not like SMU.
That Highland Park money is different.
Yeah.
That Highland Park money is different. It just is. Like, I remember because we played Highland Park in high school, and I remember warming up in their like multi-purpose building before a game, and up on the wall there's like a big Green Bay Packers logo, and there's a quote from, I think it was Aaron Rodgers, because when the Packers won the Super Bowl and the game was in Dallas, they practiced that week at Highland Park at their indoor facility. And Aaron Rodgers, there was some quote from him about like how nice all the equipment was and how this was, fantastic facility, all this stuff. And it's a high school.
Yeah. Wasn't that like an ice storm for that Super Bowl?
It was,
Do I
yeah.
remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
They had like all these like barbecues and outdoor events planned for like Super Bowl week, and it like was icy and snowy the whole week, and they all got canceled.
Take that, Jerry.
Yeah.
But yeah, SMU's in the ACC championship game. That'll be fun. I hope they win because I want them to be in the playoff and I want them to do well.
Me too.
It'd be fun for SMU to be doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, and I do think one of the things so this can be my first
We're
topic.
getting into rankings yet or no?
No, not yet.
That can be your next topic.
We'll get there.
But I think it's cool that you look at Big 12, SEC, Big 10, and ACC, and in all 4 of those conference championship games, one of the teams is brand new to the conference. You have Arizona State with the Big 12. You have Oregon with the Big 10. You've got Texas with the SEC, and you got SMU with the ACC. And we had all this conference realignment, had all these teams moving and whatever. But it is kind of funny how, like, I'm obviously not a Texas fan, but the past few years, that's always been the argument from like A&M fans or like other SEC schools.
Yeah, just
be like,
pisses
oh,
me
Texas,
off.
this is cute. Just like wait till you get to the SEC. You're going to see how big boy football really is. And they get to the SEC and they're in the conference championship in year 1.
I hope Georgia beats the ever-loving crap out of them.
Which one is the most surprising to you of those 4 you listed?
Mustangs.
I think it's Arizona State.
It's Arizona State. It's got to be. They were preseason
here. Sorry. Hey, dog.
Preseason projections. They were picked to finish dead last in the Big 12.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, that's freaking wild.
Dead last. There was I thought I sent a tweet to you guys.
Hi, puppy dog.
It was all the Big 12 teams, and then it put like in brackets what their preseason poll ranking was. So yeah, Arizona is first, and they were picked to be 16th. Iowa State is second. They were picked to be 6th. BYU and Colorado are tied for 3rd, and BYU was picked to be 13th. Colorado 11th. Baylor was 5th. They were picked to be 12th. And you go all the way down. Utah is 13th, and they were picked to win it. Arizona is 14th. They were picked to be 5th. Oklahoma State finished dead last, and they were picked to be 3rd in the Big 12. Like the Big 12, we knew going into it that it was just going to be just chaos, and it lived up to that. And they're not going to have as many teams in the playoff as the Big 10 or the SEC, but every single weekend you just had dog fights all up and down the conference, and it was awesome. So, Austin, you want to go next?
Yeah, I want to talk rankings. Because I guess if you listen to this tomorrow, which you will be, so the new college football playoff rankings dropped like an hour before we hopped on Tuesday night. So have you guys seen them yet?
Yes.
So
I have not.
All right, I think that the fan base that is able to be most angry and have like a case for being angry is, and Andrew, I'll be curious to get your take on this. So like, I think South Carolina got the absolute shaft in these rankings. They got jumped by Ole Miss, who, they handled Mississippi State at home, whereas South Carolina went on the road to Clemson and won. Miami dropped 6 points, but South Carolina has more marquee wins than Miami does. I don't know. And then Alabama moved up 2 spots to 11. I don't know. And so South Carolina moved from 15 to 14. To me, the Gamecocks should be in it. I watched them play a few games this year. They played close against Alabama. They have some decent wins on their record. And so I think that the most pissed fan base is probably going to be the South Carolina Gamecocks. That's the one blunder that I really see, and especially with Ole Miss jumping them. And South Carolina doesn't get a chance to play another game before they get in or before the final rankings are announced. I think the only team that's ahead of them that's really going to drop, like if SMU loses, they drop out, I think, but then, Ole Miss would technically move into that spot unless they wanted to correct their mistake. So I don't know. I think that these rankings are just really interesting, especially given, like Indiana up there, at 9, being a 1-loss team, not having to play in the conference championship game. I think we're starting to see, there's some good things about the 12-team playoff. And then as you can see, there are probably some flaws within the belt or like the 12-team playoff with conference champions and stuff like that I don't know how you address them, but there's definitely some teams that I think shouldn't be in that are going to be in. And there are some teams that, well, and this is every year, should be in that aren't going to be in there. So I don't know what else jumped out from you guys at the rankings.
It's the South
I don't
Carolina.
like that Alabama was 11.
What?
Because Alabama would be in right now, right? With those rankings.
And Alex and I were
right
talking about it yesterday. Like the committee's going to put Alabama in, and they shouldn't, but they're going to. So.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't know. I think it's too SEC heavy, which it was always going to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alabama being in over South Carolina, Ole Miss being ranked ahead of South Carolina,
and the Big 12 not showing up till 15.
Yeah.
It's so if the Big 12, because the Group of 5 champion is ranked higher than the Power 4 champion, does like the Big 12 champ still get in?
The top 5 conference champions automatically get in.
But the lowest ranked 5th one doesn't get a bye, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if
Top
Arizona State wins, they probably get 12.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Which that's the projected
you say
bracket.
You say it's Oregon, Texas,
SMU, Boise State, and then Arizona State.
Boise State, and then Arizona State. What is Notre Dame?
4.
But they would be in a playoff bracket. They would be 6th.
Right.
So the highest they can get is 6.
The highest they can get is 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but you got to think that because Oregon and Penn State play each other in the Big Ten championship game, one of them is going to go down. So Notre Dame's probably going to get that 5 spot.
They could flip though.
Champions.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you, let's say Penn State beats Oregon, like Oregon would probably fall to like 5 because the top 4 have to be conference champions. So,
but they would be 6th in college football playoff rankings, probably, like because the first 4.
Yeah. Although I don't know how the committee could rank Notre Dame ahead of Oregon if Oregon's only loss was in the Big Ten championship to Penn State.
Yeah, Trent. I think
Notre Dame's losses to NIU.
They flip.
Yeah. Yeah. The Alabama thing's really stupid.
It is stupid.
Because, they lose to Vanderbilt. They lose a close one to Tennessee. That's a good loss. And then they, late in the season, score 3 points against Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, who has been awful and dropped 24 on them. I mean,
so that's their 3 losses. You compare that to South Carolina. South Carolina got hosed by the refs against LSU.
Barely lost to Alabama.
Should have won that game against LSU. And I'm not a South Carolina fan, but it's true. They played bad against Ole Miss, so they scored 3 points, but Ole Miss is ranked number 12th in the country according to the College Football Playoff Committee, and then barely lose to Alabama. I don't understand Ole Miss or Bama being ranked ahead of South Carolina. I think South Carolina is a better team than both of those. And I think the whole Arizona State, Iowa State being ranked 15th and 16th, it's preseason bias. That's really all it is. Like Big 12, any Big 12 team has been fighting that all year, right? where no one expected Arizona State to be good. And so then you look at them and you're like, well, we didn't expect them to be any good. So how good could they be? And it's like, well, they did go 10-2. Like that is, and you look at the Big 12 and it's like, yeah, you don't have a Georgia in the Big 12, but like they beat BYU, they beat Kansas State, they are going to play Iowa State, this weekend. So I don't know. I'm glad we have it.
I think the Big 12 is weaker without Texas and OU, but I don't know. I'm with you. I think that I hope the Big 12 does well because it is disrespectful to have 3 or 4 SEC teams with 3 losses ranked above them.
Yeah. Because yes, the SEC is obviously a stronger conference, but at some point the games have to matter. And if you're Alabama and you lose to Vanderbilt and OU, I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be a playoff team.
Agreed.
This isn't the Nick Saban Crimson Tide. It's
OU, the team that's won the Big 12 for the last 5 years or something like that. No, that's not true, but they won it a lot.
Yeah, they won it a lot.
TCU's in there too.
TCU, Baylor, Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State, I think, won it last year.
They did.
Yeah. And Baylor had that epic finish against Oklahoma State a few years ago.
Yeah.
Gosh, that game was awesome. Oh. Which, shout out to the Baylor Bears. They finished the season strong.
What was their final record? 7-5?
3.
8.
4.
8-4.
They only lost 2 Big 12 games, I think.
Dude, nice.
And they won their final 6 games, I think.
Oh, nice, dude.
Oh, let me see. I think they finished 8-4. Let me see. 8-4. They were 6-3 in the conference. And they won their last 6 games.
Dude, respect. David Arena's not gonna get fired now.
Yeah, he might not, but that's okay.
Should we talk about somebody who is gonna get fired?
Sure.
I think Ryan Day is gonna get fired.
Oh.
If he does not win the college football if he doesn't win the championship, he's gonna get fired. He is 1-4 against.
Do you think that he is now
Go ahead, Trent.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Urban Meyer returning?
No.
No, you don't think so?
I could see it.
You could.
I think it'd
be really annoying. But I just don't like. He just he lose to Michigan 4 years in a row. 47-1 against every other Big Ten team, and 1-4 against Michigan. Like coaches, you've seen it in Ohio State's history. Coaches that lose to Michigan get fired. So I think if he doesn't win, I would say even he maybe could make the championship game and then lose it and still keep his job. But anything short of that, he's done.
I do agree. I think if they don't, I could see a world where they get to the championship and lose like a really close game. I could see them bringing him back, but I cannot believe that they lost that game against Michigan. It's Tuesday, and I still don't know how they lost that game.
Where was it again? I didn't get to watch it because I was driving back.
It was in
in the shoe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Did you see the video of Ryan Day, that seniors crying, they can't plant the flag on our logo again, and he's just standing there emotionless. I did. This he's just sobbing.
Speaking of motionless, wait, sorry, too soon.
Wait, what?
What?
I thought I was going to go with my next football.
Oh, well, here, let me say this real quick. Speaking of videos from that Ohio State Michigan game, did you guys see the video of? Well, okay, so have you guys seen the movie Sicario?
No.
I've
heard it's good. I need to watch it.
Oh, you both need to watch that.
I've never even heard of it.
I've heard of it.
It's a Denis Villeneuve, he's the director of Dune and Blade Runner
Okay.
2049.
I haven't seen that one either.
I'm really bad at movies. You guys should know that by now.
Dude,
I
Sicario
watch
is
hockey, and that's about it.
So basically it's like a bunch of like FBI, CIA agents taking on the cartel.
I watched part of
Okay.
it. I think
It's really good.
I've heard
It's
it's good.
Josh Brolin, Emily Blunt,
Yeah, I have
John
seen part of it.
Bernthal. Oh, it's so good.
Dang, what a cast!
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, you guys should watch that. But anyways, epic movie, very intense, and the soundtrack's really good too. And the Michigan team walked out. They walked into the horseshoe playing a song from the Sicario soundtrack. I'll send you the video. It's incredible. It's very hype. All right, Trent. Speaking of
Motionless.
motionless.
Trevor Lawrence.
Gosh.
I didn't like that hit at all. I don't like that player at all. That's his 6th personal foul this season, and I think the note that I don't remember who sent it to him, but someone from the NFL sent him a note and was very called him out. Said, "No, you're not playing football the right way. You're gonna sit down, think about what you did." So I
Do you
liked
think?
that.
Do you think he could have pulled up?
Yeah, I do. It's
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. It's not Josh Allen. It's Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence.
All right.
Like there's certain quarterbacks in the league that don't pull up that I'd be fine if, but I don't know. Even so, I don't think you tackle a quarterback that way. And it's not like it's the first time he's done it either. You had your
Right.
headphones off when I was talking about that's his 6th personal foul for a late hit this season.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he did it to Caleb Williams too, and it's just
I saw something that was like, I think it was on FS1 this morning. And they were talking about how because so you're trying to stop him from getting the first down, right? And so
I don't buy that. Like if you're a linebacker and you're running towards a quarterback, you know he's gonna duck, and if he doesn't, then you take him out the next time. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
all right, that's
I
fair.
like you give a quarterback a benefit of a doubt once, but if like he pulls a fake slide like Patrick Mahomes has done, you end him. Wow, that got deep. Not what I meant. You
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 rock
just-
him.
You deck him.
you have a green light the second time.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I'll agree with that.
And you also think about it from like a coaching standpoint. Your in the NFL, especially like in today's game, your coach is never going to get mad at you for pulling up on a quarterback that you thought was going to slide.
Yeah.
Like, especially, it's not like it was on the goal line. Like they were like at midfield, and
Yeah.
it was dirty. Like it was gross.
Mhm.
And I'm glad they suspended him.
I didn't think they suspended him long enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 games seem weak to me.
Yeah. There's 5 games left in the season, just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it's idiotic that it was offsetting penalties because like Evan Ingram comes in and just decks him, which shout out to Evan Ingram for having your quarterbacks back. That's what you're supposed to do.
That brawl was
that-
awesome.
It should not be offsetting penalties. Like if you try to kill my quarterback and I retaliate, I should not be penalized the same level that you are penalized. You're the one who got us into this mess. Like your like idiocy started all this. Me protecting my teammate is not an equal not an equal crime. That's the thing that bothers me, I think, out of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was a bad hit all around.
Mhm.
And for once, it wasn't a Lions player.
Not fair. Rosie isn't here to defend him.
That's all right. I'm sure he said something.
Doesn't mean that he won't be a Lions player in the future, you know? Texans
Fair
probably are ready to move
Heavily
on from
recruited now.
him. Yeah, where's the Rappaport tweet that the Lions are bringing him in for a visit? All right, my next one is. Let's see what I want to do. Which NFL team do you guys think is having the most disappointing season? Like relative to fan and
It's-
general NFL community's expectation for this team.
I think it's got to be Cincinnati, right?
So that's where my mind first went, and then I played devil's advocate in my own mind and said it's not disappointing as a team. It's disappointing as Joe Burrow. Like, because Joe Burrow is just like, I don't know, he's playing so well, and
So
his
well.
defense is just like playing Mary Hardin Baylor next week or something, like D3 college football.
Hey,
And
there's another segment.
yeah, and it's not going well, and it's kind of sad to watch, but also really hilarious.
Mhm. Oh, I thought of another one.
Okay, go for it, because I'm thinking
I
you could say the Jets. They're pretty
think I
disappointing.
was gonna say the Jets.
Yeah, they're pretty disappointing. They had a lot of hype coming into the season.
I was like, they are a sleeper pick to win the AFC. That is what I said on this podcast.
Yeah, it's clear. Like everyone's like, Aaron Rodgers is a bad teammate, and for a while I was like, I don't know about that, but
It's
he's not a good teammate. He needs to be done.
They need to bench him, but
So
I think this season cost him a Hall of Fame. I really do.
ooh, that's
I don't think so.
nah,
I think it did. I don't think he's
He
a
won
Hall of Fame
3
quarterback
MVPs,
anymore.
dude,
Yeah, but
and
I
a
don't
Super
know.
Bowl.
People get controversial, and he's a pretty controversial guy.
Yeah. Quick note on the Bengals. How many times a season, if you had to guess, how many times a season have they scored 30 or more points?
All of them. So
I'm
they
gonna
played
go,
what, 12 games?
I'm gonna go
They
10 times.
played 12 games.
All right, I'm gonna go 9 times.
I like 11.
So 6. Okay.
Well, we were wrong.
What's their
Anyways,
record in those 6 games?
0-6.
2
1
and
and 5.
4.
Okay.
2 and 4. And I forget the exact number, but I heard that it's like the rest of the NFL this year when they score 30 points are like 52 and 1.
But
And
he's got like 9 passing touchdowns against Baltimore. Or something ridiculous like that.
no, yeah, I mean they're 0-2 versus Baltimore, and they lost those games 41-38 and 35-34.
Pain. That's
Yeah.
just pain. Oh,
Yeah.
if
If they win the game, like, okay, so if they win all the games that they've scored 30 points in, they'd be 8-4. And they're 4-8. Insane.
You want to flip that question now? You want to be like, which
It's
NFL
easy.
What do you think?
That's Minnesota. They're 10-2. There's not another team in the same realm as most surprising.
I was gonna
I
say Denver, but
Oh yeah,
I
they're
mean,
the two. Then I would accept that argument.
Denver's 8-5 though. I mean,
The
not
Steelers being
close to-
9-3.
That's true.
I disagree. I kind of saw that coming because we all thought it wasn't going to happen.
I think the Vikings, the Broncos, and the Steelers, I think, are the clear top 3. You could
Yes.
argue everybody except for Andrew thought that the Chargers were going to be bad.
You can throw Washington in that conversation maybe, but they're kind of falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, there's cracks.
There's cracks. Yeah. Vikings, man, they find ways to win games.
It's
Like,
fun.
I saw this Vikings meme. I meant to send it to you, Trent, but it was
Is it the one was like, oh, I'm really excited to watch my team play today?
no, it
not
was
that one.
it was a Jack, or maybe you sent it, the Jack Sparrow meme. Did you send that?
Maybe I've seen some. Yeah,
Where it was like that has got to be the ugliest win I've ever seen, and as Jack Sparrow is like, but it was a win.
yeah, no, that I don't know if that was I didn't see that this week, but I saw it. Oh shoot, I don't remember what
It's
week.
been
I
that
saw
way
it.
for years, though.
I think it was the Colts game. I saw it that way. That's not true. But whatever. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. I love Kirk Cousins.
Okay, well maybe it was that way from as ugly like from a loss perspective, like all those one possession losses.
I do think so. This can maybe be my next thing. I think, and maybe every year's like this, but it just maybe it's recency bias, but it feels more so this year that like, yeah, I know we're 13 weeks into the season or whatever, but you kind of have every team figured out. Like there are, I would say probably 2 teams in each conference that are Super Bowl contenders. And then you have a few teams that could make a deep run in the playoffs and upset one of those top 4 teams, right? So top 4, you would say Kansas City and Buffalo in the AFC, and then probably Detroit and Philly in the NFC. And then outside of those 4, you would say,
Philly has
hey,
the same record as 2 other NFC North teams.
hold on. Well, they don't. The Packers are 9-3. But outside of those 4, then you would say, okay, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and Green Bay, like, can definitely make it.
I'm not buying the Green Bay hype, man. I don't know why.
I'm not either, but they keep
I
winning.
don't see it. They keep winning. I don't know. I think they're getting a little lucky, but I haven't watched enough to make a.
Okay, but
accurate.
so have the Vikings. Like, that's just kind of like at some point you're winning games.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think the Vikings are getting lucky.
One of these days, I'm going to take my Jordan Love victory lap. I think I've already taken it on the pod, actually, but he's good.
I don't know. I'm looking at the Packers. So they lose the season opener against Philly in Brazil when Jordan Love gets hurt. Then they lose 3 weeks later, 31-29 against Minnesota.
Okay, but that game was not 31-29. It was, but
that was the game where they got up really big and then like Green Bay come back.
They were up 31-7 at the start of the start of the fourth quarter. And then they were playing their third string guys. But they get Detroit Thursday, so we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
Who was their other loss?
They lost to Detroit by 10 a month ago.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I like Pittsburgh and Minnesota a lot more than Green Bay. But if we look up at the end of the season and Green Bay is like 13-4, like you kind of have to take that seriously.
Okay. Vikings have lost to the Lions and got smacked by the.
I think the Vikings are good.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good team. Good, well coached.
And
Aaron Jones got to figure out how to stop dropping the gosh darn football, though. Holy smokes. He's had like 5 fumbles in the last 2
that
weeks.
was like one of the most Minnesotan things you've ever said. Aaron Jones got to learn how to stop dropping the gosh darn football. Holy smokes.
Well, I get yelled at every time I say what I wanted to say, so I didn't say it.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm learning.
We're all turning a corner here.
Yeah. All right, Trent, what's your next one?
My next one. Oh, Kirk comes home this weekend. Or are we not talking about this weekend yet?
No, you can talk. It's football related. Talk about whatever you want.
Well, yeah. Kirk had a really bad week.
Yeah.
And down in Atlanta, to say the least. But he gets to come home. Minneapolis this weekend. He gets smacked. I hope.
Yeah, where's your headspace at going into that game?
I hope Minnesota drills them. I really do, because it's looking like it's going to be likely a first round matchup. Like Minnesota's going to get the AFC South winner, probably. NFC South, sorry.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 matchup.
Yeah, they're going to get Atlanta or Tampa or I don't know where New Orleans is and all that, but
bad.
Yeah. So
you really hope they drill them?
I do.
Man, I just don't know. It's kind of like one of those where I don't know. I thought you would have been like, I hope that, Minnesota drills their like scores like 40, but Kirk has like 303 touchdowns. Like,
I don't know. The more I like sit on it, it just kind of pisses me off. Like the more that comes out about what Minnesota was offering him and what he took, I don't know. It just kind of pisses me off a little bit. A little greedy, and he tried to play it off as not greedy when it was entirely about money. It wasn't. Like he said, at this point in my career, I'm not really concerned about money. And Minnesota offered him like 2 years, same dollar amount, but he took the Atlanta job because they gave him 4 years and the same dollar amount. I don't know. Things he said just kind of didn't add up once the story started becoming public. So
I don't know. I don't know if you could be mad about same money, just different years. It's the same average, but I mean, he wants to play football for 4 more years. Like,
but he won't. I don't know.
Yeah, but he wants to.
But he wants to.
Well,
he left Minnesota because someone else offered him $42 million or $82 million more. That's for the money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As a Vikings fan, though, I kind of think, well, not kind of. I very strongly think that you dodged a bullet. So,
yeah,
maybe you should be thanking him.
I don't think it would have been a bullet. Like they told him, "Hey, we're drafting a quarterback this draft. You're going to be the starter for this year for sure, probably next year too," is what they told him.
I think,
I think the Vikings are a better team with Kirk than they were with Sam.
I think the quarterback situation, though, like in the wake of him leaving, is probably as ideal as it could have gone.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I was on record as showing it doesn't matter who the next quarterback in the Minnesota Vikings is because Kevin O'Connell is going to make him Jesus. So,
yep.
And I'm pretty close.
Glad we were finally able to take our Sam Darnold victory lap, too.
Yeah, it's just one lap, I think.
I took it early in the season because I don't think we can take it. I don't
quick
think we
little
can
warm up lap.
Yeah, quick little warm up lap for the season. And
it was like a
down there next season.
Sam Darnold 200 instead of 400, probably. So.
I've been seeing things where he goes to the Rams.
I saw that you sent that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like they're not getting a first round pick for him. Like that was way outlandish, but like I could see something like that. Yeah, he could second or third, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, probably a third. Well, Trey Lance went for what, a fourth?
Yeah.
Well, that's
so probably
you
only
can't
get a seventh for him.
Yeah, you can't gauge any trade based on what the Cowboys give up.
Yeah, that's
Jonathan Mingo for
a 4th round pick.
Has he played?
Yeah, he got a couple balls on Thanksgiving.
All right.
I think he has as many targets as the round of the pick that we gave up for him a month ago.
Yeah.
Great success.
Very nice.
Watched that last night.
Yeah, how did that go?
Kaylee thought that it was funny.
Really?
So, obviously, like
even the hotel scene?
Well, she closed her eyes for the hotel scene.
Dude, I closed my eyes for the hotel scene.
I did not watch the hotel scene either. But
that's so bad.
Obviously, like there's some stuff that you're like in that movie, but like the whole Kazakhstan national anthem, like at the rodeo scene, like I mean, I feel like she enjoyed the movie. Now I have to show her a subsequent film, which was not as good as the first one.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. All right. Austin, you got another one?
Yeah. Speaking of like quarterbacks, can we talk about Jameis Winston for a second?
I got all the time in the world for that man.
I think I would. So, like, if I had, the thing where you get to pick 3 people, living or dead, to have dinner with, I think Jameis Winston has like an outside shot to be in on that. Like,
yep,
his, I don't know. Did you see the one? I forgot who he was saying. It's like the quarterback shots, like while they show their stats and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like
the animation.
He's eating the W while he's doing it and stuff.
And Bo Nix is just in there like, too
Yeah.
early for football.
Yeah. And then like his interview before like the Snow Globe game, like where he's like, just thank God, thank the Lord that it gets play in this football weather and stuff like. I mean, and then like
Cleveland, Ohio,
yeah,
for the Cleveland Browns. What a blessing!
and then his
What a
whole mic'd
blessing.
up stuff after that, and then I don't know, I just the controversy that surrounded him coming into the NFL, with the
Crab
whole
legs.
crab legs and stuff, but then like. I don't know. I think he's my favorite player. I really do. Like every time
root for him
he's
to
on
do
my
well.
feed, I stop and watch it every single time. Even if I've seen it before, because it's so good and it's so positive. I love it. I freaking love it. It's been awesome.
He's the best, dude. Like if I really wish that he could just be like a floating quarterback. So like a team could pick him up for a week. And it's like it has to be a team who's playing in primetime because we need primetime Jameis. And so I don't know, put it in like the CBA that like what do you have? You've got 3 primetime games a week. Like he has to be one of the 6 quarterbacks. It doesn't matter who it is, but he has to be one of the 6. Like, and he just bounces around the league. Like,
but here's the thing: then he went out and he made Jerry Jeudy look like Jesus yesterday. like I for all the antics, like yeah, sure he throws picks, but the dude can freaking sling it. Like it's been so fun. Like Hard Knocks with the AFC North next year. Like the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I don't know where he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be in Cleveland or not. But if he is, they're just going to dominate the footage for all of Hard Knocks next season.
So Jerry, this stat just blew my mind. Okay. Jerry Jeudy is in his 5th year in the NFL. Okay. He has 15.6% of his entire career yardage he has gotten in the 5 games since Jameis Winston took over as starter. 15% of his career yardage has been in the last 5 games.
It's like, so I have him in our dynasty league, and like I've been starting him because he's been catching the football. So
Jameis Winston is just
a national treasure.
Best.
Like he's the most likable guy in the league. It's I would love to be his teammate. Like it'd be great.
I did okay. Hold on. I did see just a really great tweet that it was just reminding us, right, of just how great he is. And it's like the embodiment of Jameis Winston is the fact that he threw a 30 for 30 season, and his 30th interception was a pick 6 in overtime on the final game of the season to lose the final game, and it knocked the Bucs out of the playoffs. Like if the Bucs won that game, they would have gone to the playoffs. And in overtime, he throws a game-ending pick 6 for his 30th interception, and that's how he got to 30-30.
Well, I pray the Lord delivers him.
The Lord
successes.
That's
it's
awesome.
so funny.
It's so good.
It's the best.
It's so good.
It couldn't have happened to a better organization. Like an organization, like the Browns needed it the most out of everybody.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's awesome. I could talk about Jameis Winston for the entire podcast, and
awesome.
it no content. Just I'd say I love Jameis Winston for the whole podcast. So.
Yeah. All right, we've been going for about an hour. Who wants to go next, or are you guys all out?
Buffalo is building a stadium without a roof.
Good.
What?
There's a few words that come to mind when I hear that.
Home field advantage.
None of which are allowed to be said on this podcast.
Wait.
It is 2024. Put a roof on your building.
No.
Yes.
Is that a thermometer?
No. Well, yeah. I put it like I have a fire under my awning a lot, and so I just kind of like make sure my ceiling's not about to catch fire. It's only ever gotten up to 290 degrees.
Oh gosh.
The flash point of wood is not that, so it's okay.
Oh, good. Good.
What is the flash point of wood?
It's like 400 something.
All right.
Paper is 451. I know that.
Oh, is that why it's called that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Wood flash point is generally around 600 degrees, so I was way off.
Hey, you're good.
Yeah, it happens.
You think Buffalo should build a dome?
I think every NFL team in the history of the world and baseball team should have a dome.
Buffalo should absolutely not build a dome. It's too much of an advantage.
I think there's a handful of NFL teams that should not have a dome
Green Bay.
Why?
just because it's part of the identity of the team. Like, and Buffalo is
Tradition or whatever?
Well, no, it's like it is an advantage.
No,
Like-
it's not. With
Dude,
the
they get to-
turnover, the player turnover, you get like 7 players back a year.
But they're like, okay, Miami is a perfect example. It doesn't matter who is playing for the Miami Dolphins. They suck in the cold because they play down in Miami.
Everyone sucks in the cold because football sucks in the cold.
I
Tua
can
no one
hasn't
wants
won. Tua hasn't won a game when it's been below 40 degrees.
That's a player thing. That's not a team thing.
I can think
What team does he play
I'm
for?
just saying, Manny, I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's really dumb. In this day of age, with all the money that you don't put a roof on the building.
I think there are 3 stadiums in the NFL.
If you can control something, why not control it? You know?
They can control it to an
No,
extent.
they can't.
They can control that they're conditioned to the cold and the other team is not.
No, they can't. Because it could have been 100 degrees yesterday. That's another thing. Like
It's not going to be. In
you just
December.
look at like the Texas Rangers. Going inside is the best thing they ever did, and they've won a
Yeah.
World Series now
Yeah,
because they went inside.
because they went
because
inside
they got
or because
Bruce
they got
Bochy.
Bruce Bochy and Corey Seager and Marty.
They
Marty
went
Singer.
inside, and people started going to games and making money. Because people weren't going to Texas games in the middle of August because it was 108 degrees,
sitting in left field.
sitting in left field baking.
So-
literally,
Andrew, the stadiums that you think should stay open, what is it? Buffalo, Lambeau, and Arrowhead?
Yeah.
Can you think of any other ones?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Seattle is what you're forgetting.
Eh.
But that's dumb. This is like tradition, and tradition is just peer pressure from dead people.
So I'm going to say, I'm preaching on the 22nd. I'm going to use that.
Do it.
Tradition is just peer pressure from dead people.
That's what it is. It's dumb.
That's a pretty good bar, not gonna lie. That's
Send
pretty
me
good.
send me a link if you actually do use that because I think it's funny.
I don't think I will because I'll probably get fired because I got a bunch of old people who love tradition.
Well, you can say tradition is just peer pressure from your peers.
from your friends.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay, counterpoint. That incredible play in the Bills game where Josh Allen scored the touchdown would not have been as cool if it was in a dome.
Agreed.
And we would have never known that it could have happened. So we would have 0 opportunity cost.
I
Okay, NBA.
Not quite getting there. Only one of us has an MBA on this
Oh yeah, that's true.
podcast.
NBA student.
It is from Hardin Simmons though, so how legit is it?
well, It's a piece of paper. Which
Andrew,
is the
did
same
you
thing you're gonna get.
did you graduate with your bachelor's and master's at the same time? I
Oh,
thought.
he got his bachelor's done in like 2.5 years, like
Okay,
a
yeah.
psychopath.
I was like, well, it's because
Yeah.
he never drank and didn't cuss before, and now he slowed down since then. I remember freshman Andrew. I don't know if I ever heard you say the word crap.
I never drank. Yeah.
We're bad influences. Well, I'm not. I didn't live with them, so.
Actually, my first.
Jer.
So I didn't drink at all my freshman year. So you're right about that.
I didn't either.
First one was sophomore year, courtesy of. It was a shot of gross vodka, courtesy of Nico and Griffin.
Yeah, and then once that happened, we went downhill, both of us.
Yeah.
I walked in. I had a 6-pack of Dos Equis, and our RA walked in right after he did a drug bust at the end of the hall.
It was
And
like
he looked at me. He looked at me. I go, and I had a bunch of free taco coupons on our couch, and I was like, "You want some tacos?" And he goes. He just rolled his eyes and he go, yes. He didn't say anything.
it was like the moment in Finding Nemo where like the blood goes up Bruce's nose. He's like, "Oh, that's good." That was your vodka shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's
Yes.
funny because that same night our sweet mates like almost died because they almost. Never mind.
They were way crazier than we ever got.
Yeah.
Text me who your sweet mates were because we can't say it on the podcast. Obviously.
I just said who it was.
Oh, was that okay? Well, wait,
Yeah.
It was Griffin and Nico.
Yeah. I love Nico. I miss him. Anyways, that can't be told on the podcast.
Nope.
Nor can his lack of Bluetooth skills.
Oh
Anyways.
no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Did y'all hear the 3-pointer story?
Yeah, we just.
I just said
Yeah.
3-pointer.
Oh, you did? Okay. I was checking my phone.
Yeah, we had a really good shower speaker.
Yeah, you did.
Why? I still don't know.
I'm gonna have to text him. Be like, "Hey, go to whatever minute mark this is."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh.
What a
College.
Baptist University. Yeah.
Baptist University. That's right. This doesn't have to be a big thing because I know it's already been. We're just past an hour here, but I just think it's really cool that Bryce Young has been playing good football. Like,
I haven't
really-
been paying attention.
I haven't been paying attention either.
okay. Well, he's been playing really good football.
Oh, good.
Um,
Good on him.
Good for him.
and it was looking really dark there for a little bit, and it seems like he might actually be okay. And
What
that's just-
changed, you think?
I think it's just, honestly, like, I think it's confidence, and I think him getting benched kind of lit a fire underneath him. Because he's making the throws that we saw him make at Bama. There was a really nice touchdown pass he had to Adam Thielen this past week, where he sat in the pocket, pressure came, he kind of moved up in the pocket, then he broke out and he was, running forward and just threw a dart to Thielen in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. So I don't know. I don't know if he's the long-term quarterback in Carolina or whatever, but he has been playing a lot better to where even if it's not in Carolina, I do think he could get a shot somewhere else. And if he's somewhere that they know how to, maximize their quarterback, then I kind of like the potential of him.
Caleb Williams looks good too. It's been like 3
Yeah.
straight weeks of him since they fired the
Yeah.
OC. He's looks pretty good, and it's not. That's not very comforting.
It's kind of crazy how
How
that
did we
entire
not talk about that?
Eberflus.
Oh
Yeah.
man, the
clock
debacle.
management debacle. Like, that was the most confusing thing I've ever watched in football. But yeah, we can leave it at that, I guess. But
I was-
may have just gotten lucky. Like,
I
it's
was
the
so
Bears.
pissed. I was so pissed, and I'm not even a Bears fan. Like, it just that kind of poor
I wasn't pissed because it made me laugh.
Well,
but
yeah,
I was kind of upset. I was like, Bears could have won that game.
Yeah.
They could have won that game. They kind of let that one slip, but
Yeah. Or Austin, I'm sure you feel this way, but as a Cowboys fan, I'd like to consider myself an expert on poor clock management at the end of games.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, the worst that I've ever seen.
It's worse than anything McCarthy has ever done.
Because the clock just kept ticking. Like
I don't understand how when you're losing, how you let the clock run to 0 with the timeout in your pocket.
Well, and Caleb Williams is sitting there trying to change the play. Like, the quarterback is obvious. It's obviously there's confusion.
As soon as you notice that confusion, as a coach, you call timeout.
Or quarterback. It doesn't have to be the coach, does it?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
So like we all blame the coach, which probably rightfully so, but Caleb could have done something too. Like I think it's like lineman could have just been like, no, F this, timeout.
Yeah.
Like, call the timeout at 10 seconds, run a short little out route.
Dude, the play before that final play ended with 36 seconds left.
It's insane.
And then they got this ball snapped with 6 seconds left. They took 30 seconds in between plays with a timeout.
Most people don't do that even when there's not, it's not the end of the fourth quarter. Like, they'll snap it with 10.
Yeah.
On the play clock,
Who
bonkers.
Make the prediction now. Who's the new head coach of the Chicago Bears?
Johnson.
What?
Who?
The guy in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
Oh, who else did I see?
I hope so.
He's the ideal pick. Everybody said that last season though, and then he interviewed terribly. So we'll see.
I don't think he wanted a head coaching job last year. I think he wants to kind of see this Detroit thing through. I don't know if that means he stays there until they win a Super Bowl because it is the Detroit Lions. Sorry, Rosie. But I think they felt like they had unfinished business, and that's why both him and Aaron Glenn were like, no, let's stick around at least one more year.
I think there's a particular team he's got his eyes on, but I don't know which team it is, and I think it might be Dallas.
Nah, Mike Vrabel's going to Dallas.
Yeah.
No, Trent's got to be worried because his alma mater might be losing their football coach because Jerry Jones has already talked about Jason Witten.
Yeah, yes, and that would be like worse than Jeff Saturday.
Hey, so actually, funny you say that. They on Saturday night, this is football related. I can talk about it. My grandparents lived pretty close to the high school, and they were playing a football game. And I asked my cousin who still goes to that school. I was like, "What game's going on?" And they go, "Oh, the state semifinals." I was like, "Oh, they're playing that at school?" He goes, "Yeah, the other team didn't even want to bother renting another field." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Are you gonna go?" She goes, "Yeah, I'll go after halftime." And then like 2 hours go by, and I'm like, "Hey, Emma, it's halftime. Are you gonna go to the games?" "No, it's 53-0."
Oh gosh.
So, so yeah, they're in the state finals again. So I guess Jason Witten knows the thing or two about coaching football. That would be wild though if he went straight from TAPS. They might be 6A. I don't know. Private school football in Texas straight to the Dallas Cowboys. There's a movie for you.
It's freaking insanity, is what it is.
Well, I guess there's been a coach that's gone from junior high Liberty to NFL.
Jeff Saturday?
Sean Payton.
Oh yeah.
In his off year, he coached his kid at my school and then went straight to the Denver Broncos.
That Kevin James movie.
Yeah.
Kevin James as Sean Payton was an interesting casting choice.
I still haven't seen that movie. I should though.
It's not bad. It's entertaining.
I wonder if I'm in it.
I wonder if I'm in it. I should have got you to just play yourself.
Yeah. About 60 pounds heavier than I was in high school.
I'll raise you.
Oh goodness. You guys got anything else? Doesn't
I
have to
got
be football
nothing.
related.
Doesn't have to be football related.
No, we're emptying the tank right now.
Man.
Okay.
I'm kind of sad college football is like almost over, you know?
Yeah, just when college football is over, college basketball begins.
Yeah.
I haven't
What about
watched a
you?
single
What about UConn?
I haven't watched a second of NBA basketball this year. Not 1 second.
Well, this is a really good week. I think it's this week.
Mavs are playing right now.
Yeah, this is a great week for college basketball. I know last week was feast week, but have you guys looked at the schedule?
No.
Sure have.
Okay, for Austin and the listeners who haven't, Wednesday, you get Baylor versus UConn,
UConn
Alabama
sucks.
versus North Carolina.
Yeah, but Baylor hasn't been too hot either.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Marquette versus Iowa State, Kansas versus Creighton, Auburn versus Duke, and that's all on Wednesday.
That's all.
Don't forget about Cornell Colgate. That's that.
Oh, yeah.
You might think I'm joking, but I'm not. That's going to be a freaking barn murder.
Really? Okay. I'll have to keep that one in mind.
But yeah, Marquette, Iowa State is 5 or 6 in the country.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on Saturday, you get Wisconsin Marquette and Kentucky Gonzaga.
Man, Gonzaga's a horse.
Yeah, they are.
I don't think anyone's going to beat them. Even though I think someone already has.
Yeah, West Virginia did.
Yeah.
But that was.
I watched them play Baylor a few weeks ago, and it was like,
wow.
wow.
That opening game. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, wow.
I mean, they made 10 more threes than Baylor did, and they beat them by like 40. So,
wait, UConn dropped 23 spots.
They lost like 3 times.
I know they lost 3 in a row in a week, but
that's how you do that.
That's insane.
Well, and the teams they lost to
Memphis,
Dayton, Colorado, and Memphis.
Which Dayton and Memphis aren't bad teams. I don't know anything about Colorado.
Dayton killed them. They lost to Colorado by 1 and lost to Memphis by 2 in overtime.
Yeah.
Dayton's a good team to lose to, I think. But
we'll see.
Memphis is always that team that starts slow and ends strong, and I don't know anything about Colorado.
The next 3 games will be, I think, really telling for UConn because it's Baylor, Texas, and Gonzaga.
Oh.
And then they get into Big East play after that, where it's just, Xavier, Butler, DePaul.
Most underrated basketball conference in the nation.
I thought you would have said the Big Ten.
Nah, Big Ten's getting a little bit overrated.
Basketball's
the Big 12 now. Big 12 reigns.
Oh, absolutely.
Supreme. So long as Kansas stays in it.
Which they are.
Yeah, there are talks of going to the Big Ten for Kansas. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they're football.
I don't think the Big Ten wants them for football. Yeah. I hope Kansas stays in the Big 12 because I love the basketball matchups. It's just incredible.
Me too.
It's fun.
All right, let's wrap it up. Dad joke this week. It's very rare that a defibrillator fails, but when it does, no one is shocked.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode.
Nice.
Thank you, of course, to Austin and Trent for being on this week. Thank you to everyone tuning in, whether it's the video podcast on Spotify or audio on Apple or wherever else you get your podcasts. We will be back next week, recapping, reacting to all the action from the conference championship games in college football. And we should have the final rankings. We'll have the first 12-team playoff bracket. Lots to discuss there. Lots to discuss. Cannot wait for that. And then, of course, we'll be breaking down all the action from the latest weekend of the NFL. So I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Skull Vikes.
Perfect.
Man.
Hey,